Hello everyone. Welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today we're talking about Major Teroh, who is the last legendary creature, or commander I guess. Once we get to legendary planeswalkers it's going to be different. The last commander of the Torment set. But before I get into Major Teroh, I have finally, after years of having this updated recording software that I've been using, I finally sat down after reading your guys' comments. Thank you for the heads up on the background noise. Excuse me. And I finally sat down to try and figure that out because it was bugging me too, and I just never had the time. And then when I did have the time, I just didn't do it. So I finally did it. I sat down. I figured out how to get my suppression a little bit better for my microphone. In fact, it's so much better that it's actually there, because prior to this video and some of the other videos for my video games that I've recorded, there was no suppression on my microphone at all. So hopefully this sounds better as far as you guys hearing my voice, and then of course the background music that goes with these videos. So let me know in the comments below if it's sounding better. I'm hoping it is. I did some tests with this suppression added to it, and I'm looking forward to making more videos for you guys. So thank you for your patience. I apologize, it's been a couple days since you have seen a Magic the Gathering video, so thank you guys for coming back and watching, and let's get right on into it. Major Teroh is a legendary bird soldier. It's a 2/3, and it costs 3 generic mana, 1 white mana. It has flying, and for 3 mana and 2 white mana, and sacrifice Major Teroh, exile all black creatures. No card rulings for this card. It's very straightforward. It can fly, it can attack, it can block, and it can get rid of black creatures. So to combo with Major Teroh, Cormus Bell is the card I chose to synergize, because turning all of the lands into black 1/1 creatures will end the game. Most likely for at least 1 to 2 players at the table, because lands are important. Bear in mind that if you do this, your lands are also liable to get blown up. So, you know, be prepared to either have mana rocks to replace your lands, or prepare your board state to not need ramp or mana of any kind after you do this, because you will get rid of all the lands in play. Fortunately for my play group, they will not be experiencing that crazy board wipe effect, because my deck that this is one of the commanders for is my mono white bird tribal deck, and this is one of my favorite decks that I've made with my play group. It's actually been an ongoing joke. I'm sure I've mentioned this in previous videos about this deck, but it's an ongoing joke that I build janky decks, and during the time that this was really popular in my play group, I also had a mono green bear tribal deck. So I had an Air Force One deck where Bear Force One deck, where half the time I was playing with a mono green bear deck, which was the Bear Force, but then half the other time I was playing with a mono white bird deck, which was my Air Force deck. So that was an ongoing joke within my group, and I know that that's a popular term for these decks, and I love this deck. It's so much fun. It's so silly. Bird tribal. And secondly, if you wanted to go really all in on the destroying your opponent's stuff or punishing your opponent's stuff, the popular deck idea on EDH Rec is taking advantage of turning all of your creatures, all of the creatures in play, to black or not white, or making your opponents have all swamps in play and punishing them that way. Really oppressive stacks control deck for mono white. And then lastly, to just kind of play on the color scheme a little bit here, but give it a twist, this doesn't really synergize well, but I think that would be a fun deck to build, and I've always loved the Circle of Protection colors. And then many years later, I learned about the Rune of Protection cycle, which I think is even better because even though it's white mana to use the ability, the fact that it has cycling is really cool. And then, of course, Absolute Law to give all the creatures protection from a color. There's Absolute something else. Absolute Law for red and Absolute something for protection from black. But just this crazy protection from deck where you want to protect yourself at all times from everything and just really slow the board out. Maybe play an Enchantress style deck with this would be fun. So this is a bunch of cards that I've always wanted to build a deck around, but never really had the opportunity to. And since this card cares about colors of cards in play, it's flavorful at least. And that is going to do it for Major Teroh. It'll clear the board, especially if you have that Karma spell. It will clear the board. But less than a fifth of the time it will do that, because you got to remember that, and that scale actually is a little off, because when I originally typed that up, I just went off the concept of, oh, there's 5 colors in Magic, so that's 1/5. It only gets rid of 1/5 of all the colors. But in the grand scheme of things, we also have to include the fact that there are colorless cards, and there are colorless artifact creatures, and colorless decks out there like Eldrazi, and so on and so forth. So even less percentage of what this card can actually get rid of. So kind of meta dependent on your play group, but there are ways to get around it to build cool oppressive decks. And it has the ranking of F tier, which you will guys see in the next video when I do my summary of all the videos for the Torment set. It has F ranking because it is expensive, it's an expensive ability to use, and it's just not that popular of a commander to build around, so there's just not a lot of deck ideas built around it. So unfortunately, as far as deck ideas and deck popularity, it's just not that popular, so it gets F, but that's okay. I still love this card. I love playing with it along with all my other bird commanders in my bird deck. It is a fun card to play with, and sometimes in the right meta and the right setup with your table, it will get rid of the entire board state, which is really cool. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Major Teroh. Let me know about the audio quality. Hopefully that is sounding better for you guys. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys in the next video, which will be the set review, where we talk about all the scores I give for all these cards in a very brief overall summary of the entire Torment set. So go ahead and check that out when that comes out, and the best way to get notified for when that comes out will be to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified. So thank you guys again. Thank you so much for your patience and your support, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!